Nadia buys a house for £201,500. She sells the house for £213,590. Calculate the percentage profit Nadia makes. So before we look at this idea of percentage profit, let's just think about this idea of profit, just what that actually is. So profit is the amount of money you make on top of what you sell something for once you've covered your original costs, i.e. it's the extra that you make when you sell something. So Nadia bought this house for £201,500. She sold it for more than that. She sold it for £213,590. How much more is the amount of profit that she's made? Now, in order to work out percentage profit, the very first thing we need to do is we need to actually work out the profit. So let's work out that then. The profit is going to be the difference then. It's how much more we make. So we take the larger value, the 213,590, and we take away the smaller original value, 201,500. We pop that in our calculator perhaps, and we find that the amount of profit made, the amount extra that she makes when she sells it, is £12,090. Now we need to work out the percentage profit. Now percentage profit is defined in a very particular way. It is the profit as a percentage of the original. Now to work something out as a percentage, we need to see what it is out of the total that we're looking at. So percentage profit would be the profit out of the original, as in the profit out of the original, written as a fraction in this kind of way. The profit was 12,090. The original was the 201,500. Profit out of the original. We know that this means something. This fraction line, of course, means divide. So if we do 12,090 divided by the 201,500, that will give us a decimal number. It will, in fact, give us the decimal number of 0.06, which we could rewrite as a percentage. 0.06, we can either do that scaling timesing by 100 if we're thinking about it properly, or we can do the pattern spotting, and that will come out as 6%. That means that 6% of the original is the £12,090, and that's the profit that was made. So percentage profit is the profit as a percentage of the original. Tom buys a house for £352,000. He sells the house for £325,600. Calculate the percentage loss Tom makes. So we're talking about percentage loss here. In the previous example, we were looking at percentage profit. Well, the same kind of ideas still stand. If we look at the two prices that we're given, the original buying price of the house is more than the selling price. So the amount of money that Tom has made, well, it's actually a negative amount. He has made a loss. We could, as a first step, work out the loss that he has made. The loss would be the £352,000 buying price less the £325,600 selling price. If we work that out, £26,400 has been lost from the price of the house. Now here we want to work out the percentage loss. Well, if percentage profit was the profit as a percentage of the original, well, percentage loss is simply the loss as a percentage of the original. Loss out of the original, i.e. percentage loss, would be worked out by doing the loss out of or divided by the original. We would then have the £26,400 out of, being careful which of the two values we are looking at as the original. The original is the £352,000. We would then do 26400 divided by 352,000 on our calculator, £26,400 divided by the 352,000. We would work that out and we would get an answer of 0.075. Well, 0.07 would be 7%. The 5 is going to have to go somewhere, so that will give us a percentage loss of 7.5%. Now hopefully you'll have noticed that the percentage profit and the percentage loss there were worked out in pretty much the same way. It was the profit or the loss as a percentage of the original. Now what we are actually doing here, whether you realise it or not, is we are working out percentage changes once again. It's just that previously when we looked at percentage changes, we looked at them first of all doing a percentage change. So we looked at finding a percentage increase or a percentage decrease. That was us finding a certain percentage of a value and either adding it on or taking it off. And then after we'd done that, we had a look at undoing a percentage change, looking at a sale price, say, and trying to work back to an original price. Here, we are working out what percentage change has taken place. There has been a certain change to find a profit, there has been a certain change to make a loss, and we are working out what that change is. So percentage profit, percentage loss are two ways they could phrase this question. It's find the difference, the change that's taken place, and then work out what that is as a percentage of the original. But it's always either going to be the amount of profit over the original or the amount of loss over the original. There's one more way they could phrase these questions, and that's to actually talk about percentage change. But it is done in much the same way. We find the change that's taken place, whether it's an increase or a decrease, it doesn't actually matter. And then we find that as a percentage of the original. For example, last year, Sue paid £2,534 for her annual train ticket. This year, she had to pay £2,612 for her annual train ticket. Work out the percentage change in the cost of her train ticket. Give your answer correct to three significant figures. So this question is much the same as the others. We've got a certain change taking place. We're talking about percentage change. Percentage profit, we had to work out the profit first of all. Percentage loss, we worked out the loss first of all. Percentage change, we're going to do much the same thing. We're going to work out the actual change, the monetary change that's taken place. So the change is going to be the larger price, take away the smaller price. The larger price is the second one. It happens to have gone up. We could be talking about percentage increase here, in much the same way as we're talking about percentage change. The wording doesn't really matter. We are working out what percentage increase or decrease has occurred. So the change is the larger 2,612, take away the smaller 2,534 pounds, which is a change of 78 pounds. We want the percentage change. So percentage profit was the profit as a percentage of the original, the profit out of the original. Percentage loss was the loss out of the original. Percentage change is going to be the change out of the original. So that's the change out of the original, which is the £78 out of the original 2,534. That, if we work that out on our calculators, comes out as 0.030781 ... At this point, we could think about this three significant figures bit. We need three significant figures, so we start counting on our number. The first thing that isn't zero. The first thing that isn't zero is the 3 here. So we're going to count our 3 digits after that point, because once we've started counting, we count everything. So that's going to be the 3, the 0, and the 7. That's 1, 2, 3, and we put our split line in there. This is either going to stay as a 307 or it's going to change to a 308, and the one that tells us which it will do is the 8 after that split line. That is an 8, so it's going to be closer to the higher one. It's going to push up to the 308. But we then need to adjust the value of this number to give it the same place value as the original, so we would need to put in the 0.0308 in front. We still haven't actually finished the question because we've not turned this into a percentage yet. Timesing by 100, or using this kind of 0.03 would be 3%. This will have to be 3.08% to three significant figures.